Yo, what's happening, guys? You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about SMS marketing, which is text message marketing, and we'll talk a little bit about SMS marketing in general, but in this video, the one thing I wanted to highlight above all, the number one thing you need to know before you start SMS marketing. Now, SMS marketing is text message marketing. The purpose of it, it can be kind of multifaceted. If you have a retail store and you're trying to drive customers into your retail store or notify them about sales, that's one way of doing it. You can do those same things for an online shop, an e-commerce store, but you can even take it a step further because we tend to get more analytics on e-commerce customers, online customers, when we have their email and their phone number, and we can kind of track them and follow them around the internet and market to them around the internet. We can't really do that with somebody who's coming into a retail store. And one of the most powerful aspects of SMS marketing is being able to do abandoned cart recaptures. So the same way Shopify has this feature built into it natively, where you can set it up so if somebody adds something to their cart and an hour later, 4 hours later, 6 hours later, they haven't completed that sale, you send them an email, hey, we noticed you were shopping for this, don't forget to buy it. If you want to add a coupon or some special promo or free shipping, you can do that as well. Well, a lot of people don't realize you can do, abandoned cart recapture is incredibly effective. With my previous e-commerce business, I think probably like 34% of our abandoned carts we were able to recover. So we were able to bring in a ton of business that we otherwise would have lost. And I think a lot of people don't realize you can take this a step even further, actually several steps further. You can do abandoned cart recapture with text, abandoned cart recapture with push notifications, and even abandoned cart recapture with Facebook messaging. All these things are incredibly powerful, so just something to consider. But here's the number one thing you have to know about SMS marketing or text message marketing. And if you're not doing it, you need to be doing it. It's incredibly powerful. The open rates are 90% plus, way better than email. The conversion rates are way higher than email. And it's really kind of low effort to put together, right? Like, not that putting together an email marketing message has to be that complicated or that in depth. But with text, I mean, you have 160 characters. A link is probably going to take up some of those characters. I always like to start my SMS message off with the name of the store before the actual message. Otherwise, people don't have you saved in their phone book. They don't know who it's coming from. So if I'm johnsfitnessclothes.com, the text message would start off John's Fitness Clothes. It's going to end off with the link to my store. So we actually have a very little amount of space to work with. 10% off today, 10% off this collection, BOGO on this. It's really easy to craft these messages because there's not that much to them. You can just send a straight plain text message to somebody. I like to include a photo in there. I feel like it grabs people's attention. Like they say, a photo says 1,000 words. So normally I'll try to put together some banner that conveys more about this special, shows a picture of the product. I think it just allows people to kind of connect with the product and without even reading, immediately kind of recognize what that text message is getting sent out for. My biggest complaint about SMS marketing, text message marketing, is once you start with a company, nobody else will take that list. And why this is so important and why this is the number one thing you need to know. I know a lot of times with email marketing, people say, okay, well, I'm going to start out with MailChimp because it's free for up to 5,000 people on my list or whatever. And then once I outgrow MailChimp, then maybe I'll move over to OmniSend, maybe I'll move over to Klaviyo. Well, the problem, and that's fine with email, right? With email, you can take a list, you can buy a list, and you can upload it right to your email list. And as long as you're not getting high spam rates, there's never going to be any issues with that. Because of the laws and rules and regulations around SMS marketing, text message marketing, nobody wants to take somebody else's list. So if I start out using Slick Text and I build my list on Slick Text, and then later I want to upgrade and move over to Retention Rocket, or I want to move over to AppCard because I've opened up a retail store, and that ties in with my register system, or I want to move over to some other system, these other companies, they will not take the phone numbers that you've built up on Slick Text. So if you're somebody who's thinking, I'm going to start with this, and once I outgrow it, I'm going to move over to this, they're not going to take it. So you're either going to be split between two different platforms, paying two different subscription fees, or you're just going to wind up having to abandon this list completely, or kind of the not so great but better than nothing workaround is you send out a text message to everybody here and you say, hey, we're switching platforms. If you still want to continue getting these great deals or be notified about sales, special offers, etc., text the word blah, blah, blah to 32574. And hopefully those people are actually going to do that and join a new list. The reality is you're probably going to lose at a minimum 30% of those people, more than likely probably well over 50% of those people. So this is the number one thing that I tell people when you're starting to do SMS marketing. Whoever you go with from the beginning, you're pretty much going to be stuck with. Otherwise, you're going to be split between two platforms, having to send out duplicate messages, plus paying two different platform fees. So think long and hard about who you decide to go with. As far as platforms I've used, there's a ton of great ones out there. As far as platforms that I've used or I'm currently using, Retention Rocket is great. It's not cheap. I think it's either $99 or $150. If you have multiple stores, they will do multiple store bundles where you can get the additional stores for about $50. Retention Rocket is really high level, really advanced. I think it's about 2 cents for a picture message, a penny for a regular text message. But they tie in with just Uno and OptiMonk and Smile, Loyalty Line. They tie in with pretty much Shopify and all the apps you're using. They're great for abandoned cart recapture. One of the better, more advanced options out there, and really geared towards e-commerce. If you have a retail store or you're just looking for something cheaper and not nearly as advanced as that, Slick Text is an easy one to work with. But Slick Text doesn't really tie that well into your website. I think Slick Text is better for brick and mortar stores or for people who are just at a much lower level and looking for a cheaper option. And there was a third one and then another one is called AppCard. This, unless you have a retail store, this probably isn't relevant to you. AppCard is a register system that also has SMS messaging capabilities. So those are 3 that I've used that I like, that work well. But again, keep in mind, almost nobody will take a list that you've built here and bring it over here. So think long and hard about who you go with before you select somebody. That's all I really got for you guys today. If you guys want to see more videos about SMS marketing, text message marketing, drop your questions, drop your comments down below, and I'll put together a much more comprehensive guide if that's something you guys are interested in. So let me know. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, or maybe they're on the other sides. Either way, hit both those fucking buttons, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.